If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what does speed control have to do with you and your sales presentation and struggling to close deals, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Bell, coming to you live from Haleiwa, Oahu, on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. All right, so when you take a look at any sales process, doesn't matter the product or the service, there's common mistakes that are made. And one of the biggest and most common mistakes that I see salespeople in pretty much every industry that I know of and work in struggle with is this. You have two types of people. You got two groups of people. You got your straight across the board salesperson, and then you got your rapport salesperson. And a straight across the board salesperson is going to pretty much say and talk the same speed and do the time that it takes to do each part of the project. The two-step or the two-part salesperson or the right foot, left foot person has a little bit of a challenge. And if you're struggling in sales right now, I've diagrammed this out, okay? So I have my $12 whiteboard that I brought over here to Hawaii. So you got the intro phase, discovery phase, presentation phase, money phase, and then closing question phase. And each step on here, you see an R, and that stands for rapport. So typically what happens for salespeople in their mind, they're like, each step of this sales process is like one section of the sales presentation, and in between each step, it's my role and responsibility to build rapport. And that may or may not be true. That may or may not be the way that you sell, but I want to make sure that this diagram makes sense to you, that if you're struggling right now, this could be one of the reasons why. It could be a case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It could be a case of like, wait a minute, we got a little tiny shallow intro phase, we've got a wide rapport phase, and then we've got a shallow discovery phase, and we got a wide rapport phase, and then we got a shallow presentation phase and a wide rapport phase. The gapping on this was drawn for the rapport every single time to be wider. Now, here's the thing that you need to know is that we are devices that look at life like puzzles, and at you, me, everybody else. And so what happens is my brain goes, okay, this guy's in sales mode, this guy's in sales mode, and now he's in rapport mode. And I'm starting to pick up your patterns. How do you tell stories? How do you tell the truth? How do you lie? Like, one of the best movies for you to watch, I have it here from last trip, is Maverick, right? In the movie Maverick with James Garner and Mel Gibson and Jodie Foster, Mel Gibson goes into a poker play, and for 1 hour, he loses to learn everybody's tells. Your buyer, your client is learning your tells, so to speak, during rapport, and there's nothing wrong with that because you're doing the same thing to them. But if nobody ever tells you, now you're in trouble, okay? So you have to be the same person throughout. But if your brain is going, this is going to be the intro phase, okay, click, now we're going to go into rapport phase, click, now we're going to go into discovery phase, you're becoming multiple people. And if you're hearing like, hey, stop trying to sell me, now you're talking like a salesperson, it's because you were on script, off script, on script, off script, on script, off script. And the person's trying to decide, like, who am I talking to today? Who am I talking to? And this is super confusing for salespeople if nobody's ever told you, because I feel like I'm doing the same thing as everybody else. When I watch a sales presentation, I feel like I'm doing the same thing. It's because you're not hearing what you're saying from an outside source. You're not hearing your audio. You're not watching it. So when you watch a closer, that closer to you looks like they're just having a normal conversation. And in all realities, like, all this spacing is exactly the same, and the rapport just feels natural because they've done this so much. Now, as you struggle and as I struggle, we tend to go into over rapport mode. And the reason for that is, like, you're not going to get rejected in rapport mode. You're not going to get, hey, like, don't ask that question. It's going to be, I'm going to talk about cats, you're going to talk about cats. I'm going to talk about spaghetti, you're going to talk about spaghetti. Oh, you want to talk about Hawaii? I want to talk about Hawaii. There's no real danger in rapport except for oversharing because you're vulnerable and because you're talking too much. That's the main danger, besides somebody learning your pattern. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, type it into a browser, drop in your name, your email address, maybe your phone number. I'll give you the goods. Not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's a freaking email publication, and you will love it, my friend, because I write it and occasionally I try to sell you stuff. So in all realities, your sales process should look like this, an even speed all the way through. And if anything, right, if you're looking for permission, that's a W, by the way, you should slow down in the closing process. Right? You have all the time in the world to close a deal. You have all the time in the world to ask questions. But what happens for a lot of salespeople is they speed through this process minus the rapport. They speed through this process so they can get to the close and speed through the close because they don't understand timing. And like, movies don't ever represent this. Most coaches and most sales trainers don't ever tell you, like, listen, when you go from presentation and you make sure, like, hey, lockdown technique before you roll into price, your brain should be like, slow down. If I speed up, I'm going to lose this deal. If I speed up, I'm going to have to discount to get it. Slow down. Right? So even me. Hi, my name's Scott. I screw up on a daily basis. I slept in this morning, right? I screw up on a daily basis. And so, like, there's times where I'm sitting on a Zoom call or meeting with a potential client or even doing some mergers and acquisitions, and my brain goes, hey, Scott, slow down, buddy. I'm like, oh, good advice. Good advice. Now, I'm not talking like slow your voice down. Like, you need to do a check of like, how fast do you normally speak? Me, I speak at about 110 words per minute. So I better be somewhere below 110 words. Okay. So if you speak at 105, learn how to speak below 105 in the closing, like 5 words per minute less. So if I typically talk at 110, I should be around 105. It would be dumb for me to go to 90 because, like, now that you've built rapport, I've built rapport, that person's like, something's super off here, so it's giving me butterflies. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do it, but Scott, I really got to think about it. So if you're saying, hey, Scott, what is some sales advice, some sales strategies that I need to know about my speed? If this is your entire sales process and you're going into the close right here, you are slowing down. You are, like, look, slow. It says slow right there. Don't speed up, slow down into the close. Now, you still have to ask your questions, and when you ask your questions, you stop talking. You still have to figure out what's going on with concerns, aka objections. You still have work you've got to do. But if you're like, Scott, I need a quick diagnostic tool for why I'm struggling and why I'm not closing deals and why I'm having a problem right now, it's going to come down to your speed. How fast are you trying to get to the close, right? So in all realities, if I could draw this out where everything was spaced exactly right, I know that's not how a sales call goes. I know that's not how a sales call goes, but if you were looking for a visual representation for your presentation budget, each one of these sections would have the same exact amount of time. And we know that's not true, but if you had to slow down between each of them and space them out and then say, okay, now I need to rearrange them, I would encourage anybody to figure out your time, your sales presentation budget. You take how much time you're going to have and figure out what you're saying and what you're not saying and how you're getting concerns, aka objections, right? So just one last final reminder, because my brain is telling me to slow down. If this represents your entire sales presentation, you need to match the speed and the intensity, but slow down through. You're not in a hurry. Like, amateurs hurry through the close. Amateurs speed through the close, which is going to get you objections. And the only way that you're going to close that deal is to give massive terms or massive discounts or massive terms and discounts. Like terms being payment plans, charges that you're going to give, or throw-ins that you're going to add-ins that you're going to give away for free, right? So be aware. If you are struggling right now, I would take a look at your timing of your presentation. Does it look like this, where you're spaced out, short intro phase, huge rapport phase? That's really something you've got to pay attention to. And I know I over-explained, I sales-plained this message to you because it's super important. You got one of 3 things to do from here. Just one of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.